Good day everybody, it's Access Crusher from Battlestations ModHQ, and this is the fifth part of the video tutorial series on modding Battlestations Pacific. I think this is probably going to be the first of two. That's probably the most wanted tutorials, and that is map making. Now in this first part we'll deal with how to get the game to pick up a new map, how to make some basic modifications to a map, and how to add units and how to place them. The second part will deal with scripts, how to add objectives and have the AI do specific functions that you want it to do. Basically your first step will be to extract the impact file called gv main menu. Now inside it, you just go to scripts, data tables, then there's Lua file leaderboards and mission tree. Now that is if you do not have the BSmodHQ version 3 version. But I'm going to work with the BSmodHQ version 3, so it's just going to be under the Battlestations Pacific installation folder, data tables, and then you'll see here's the main files. Let me just open it for you. Okay, first thing is just to have it folded so you have a bit better view. If you go mission 3, mission groups, you'll see the multi-mission infos. Here's where all your multiplayer maps are listed. Starting from, let's see, there's map 1, which is Dread Nord, map 2, map 3. See, it's got an ID number and a name. So if you go further down, you'll see there's mission 7. Here's some of the DLC maps I've been adding, and you'll see here some of the more familiar maps such as Tengo, Sibuyan Sea, Air Battle over Japan, and those. The other one that we need to open is leaderboards. Now that is basically just here to list the maps. So we just start off here adding a map number, let's say number 800. Just going like that, and just tag it so you know which one it is. Just going to call it test map like that, and you can save. So that's basically all you need to do in leaderboards. Now for mission 3, I suggest you basically just use one of the existing maps as a template. I'll just use the Port Moresby template. So I just copy that whole entry, paste it. Then I'll just change the ID to 800, map name to test map. You have to change that as well, that links to the scene file which will contain all the units. The rest of this you really don't need to change. You're going to set your map size. We're going to work on the large map size, which will be 3 versus 3. That's medium, small, and obviously huge. But I did use the large size. Now basically, let me show you how these things work. Just get paint open for you. It basically looks like a Cartesian level. So you've got this level like this, and then basically you'll see the map is set, let's say on minus 15, so it basically means your whole map runs like this: 15 kilometers that side, 15 kilometers that side, 15 that side, and 15 that side. That's how you set your map. So you can even make a map just that specific size, whatever. That's the map size it will display in the main menu of the game. And then further you can, these are the hints for the allied side that loads when the map starts. Here you can set unlocks if you want to, and then the same goes for the Japanese side. And then this is the unique part. This is where you tell the game which game modes to omit. So we basically totally take out map size 0, 1 and 3, which will be small, medium and huge, and we also take out siege, competitive, escort and deal. So you only sit with island capture on large, and then that is how you only have that specific map size. So let me just double check everything, make sure we've got everything here. It's fine, we can save, then we back the impact if you use that, or you can just click save if you use BSmodHQ version 3. So that was the easy part. Now the game knows how to look for your game. Now comes a bit of trickery. So I just create a temp folder. Open that. Now you need to go to where your scene files are. That's impact scenes. And let's base it off, let's say, the Dreadnought map. So you go 0, scene 1. Copy that one. One scene. Oh, yeah, that's what I have to capture there. Copy the IC3. But you'll see on 0 scene it doesn't have a specific map size. But I did copy the wrong one. Okay, there's 0 scene 1. 2 scene 1. We're going to need 3 scene. 4, I think it's 4, 5 that doesn't exist. Yeah, 4 you just need to copy. 5 doesn't exist. And 6. Now the nice thing about 4 and 6, you can just name them straight. So it's scene 800 for those. Those you can just copy straight back. You really don't need to change anything in those files. Okay, I just need to rename the rest. You see, if you don't copy the 6 scene file, that's the caustics. That's basically, you'll see the waves hitting the beaches will look terrible to give you error messages and those things. So it's really advised to go copy that. So now we need to extract these impact files. Okay, so now we can go about this in 2 different ways. You can either go and obviously now manually name everyone and then modify them, save them back to impact, or do it the new way, which is basically just for now you rename that 1 and you pretty much just dump it into root of Battlestation specific directory. Just keep the scripts folder intact. You can actually delete the universe now. That we can also move. But I don't want to replace, else it might overwrite some of the textures that's already there. Just delete. Okay, this one you'll pretty much have to keep as is. So just a few quick changes here. We just call that 800. Call the mission name test map. Save it. And that's it, and you can pack this one. So that's the script file. We're not going to work with this one in this tutorial. So now just really start packing them. You can see obviously because your SCN file is in 0 scene, 1 scene and 2 scene. Imagine I have to every time repack all 3 of them if you just make a small change. This is just going to simplify modding quite a lot. And obviously now if we're copying all the mod files for the main maps, you don't need to copy a lot of stuff the whole time. So there's the new impact files, we just put them in place. Okay, you'll see now if we go under terrain, here's your different islands, data files, and as well if you go under models, you'll see here's terrain, island models and all that stuff. That's important. Let's say you use an island from one of the campaign maps. You have to copy its model files together with its texture files, and then as well as the terrain files for if you want to copy the island files for that. But I've pretty much already copied most of the game's files to here, so it just simplifies the whole process quite a bit, so it will just prevent most of the crashes from happening. Now we still got one little thing to do. Let me just see if I can remember correctly. It's under effects. And you'll see this is LUT scene files. If you don't create one with a mission name, you can see for yourself it will bugger up the textures of most of the islands. So all I just do is I just create a copy of one of them. Let's scene 800. I think this is also in the 2 scene file if you work with the impact files. Okay, so now basically, as far as if I'm correct, yes, we still need one little step, and that will be under scripts. No, it's under universe, scenes, missions, multi, and you just have to find the scene file you copied. Okay, see there's the scene 800 file already, because we copied it earlier from the 0 scene file. You just gotta create the nav file as well. Okay, and let's run a quick test. Okay, at least the game loaded without any crashes, so let's just see if we can find our map. Okay, see, we did pick it up. As you can see, I'm toggling between 2 maps, but still showing Dreadnought. So we just quickly need to go change that in the scene file. Okay, so let's just quickly open the scene file. We just go language Lua, give it a few seconds so it can load the language. Okay, so that's done. So now we just fold all. In header we're going to change the unique ID to 800, which is our map. And then we're going to delete all the stage script except for island capture. So this actually points to that script file in the 3 scene file. And then the mp01.name we change to test map and save that, and then let's take a quick. Okay, let's see. You see there is this map. You'll see it says error here. It's because we have to create a minimap file like the ones on the main menu. But we'll get to that in a little bit on where to find it. You see there's no unit unlocks, because we'll have to configure that as well. Let's see if the map loads. And there you go. Obviously we don't have fully functional script files yet, so the objectives won't work, and you'll hear the music doesn't start. It's pretty much the whole script running the mission has failed. But if you want to test a little bit, you can. And you'll see, we pretty much just created the first recognizable map for Battlestations. So I'll just go through a few details with you from this stage on how to optimize this, and obviously how to start moving stuff around. Okay, so if we just want to do that minimap, you just go to interface, textures, graphics user interface here, radar shots. and you'll see here's all the radar files, and then you'll see there's D for dual, E for escort, all those. Then you get island ICH for huge, ICL for large, medium and small. So you'll probably just create one scene 800 underscore ICL.dds. And then as in the previous tutorials, you can see GIMP with the DDS plugin or Paint.net is perfect for opening these DDS files. And you'll see there's how one of the files look. So then, yeah, with some luck you'll be able to make one. It's not easy, but anybody can do it if you have enough time and patience. Okay, so next to the scene file, let's start looking at this. You see, environment is pretty much where you can add a thunderstorm and all those. You can change your skybox. So basically just copy these two lines from another map. Let's say from Port Moresby map or one of those. Just make sure you get the 1 scene and 2 scene files that have these specific model files and all that. I think, let me just show you how they look. It will be here under effects for most of it, and then you'll see skybox will be here as well as under the models, but you'll find that under the 1 scene and 2 scene files. Ocean is basically just how much waves there are and all that. You can play around with that. Weather gives you fog and rain, lightning, all that. And then you'll see yes, all your entities. This is the physical objects on the map. So a landscape will obviously be one of the islands, and then there's paths, all that. A lot of the stuff you won't be using because you're not going to make an island capture map, or if you want one, then you'll have to use it. You see, they pretty much mix everything together from the different game modes, dual, competitive, all that. You'll see. I've just got some basic settings for the nav points. But in terms of physical entities, usually you can disable it. You'll see multi-type. You can specify whether it will spawn in a specific game mode or not. So there you can have one scene file for multiple game modes across the same map. Now basically to get down to the local frame, this specifies where the unit is placed on the map. Now, as I said before, this is where how unit placement works and maps. So if I want a unit placed here, you'll have to cross-reference it to the X coordinate and a Y coordinate. That will give you the placement of the unit. Now to get that, you go from the right to the left. This you leave. This is your Y coordinate. This one you can leave as is. This is your X coordinate. Leave that one. This is your Y coordinate. This is for planes if you want to give them a specific altitude. Then you leave this one. This is going to be your Y rotation. You leave that one. This is going to be your X rotation. Now X rotation works is, let's say I want the unit, let me just get a bit of a different brush. If I want the unit to face this way, let's say this is the center of the unit, I want it to face that way, I'll have to trace it. The X coordinate is going to be -1 and the Y coordinate is going to be 1. If I want the unit to be a bit more like that, it's probably going to be a -1 coordinate, but only something like a 0,5 coordinate there. That is how you're going to specify in which angle your unit is rotated. You can give the owner player 1, player 2, AI control. Race is which side it's going to be. You can give it a skill, and you'll see template. It gives you this. Pretty much you can leave it as is. This really doesn't affect it. Here you get the unit class. This is where, if you want to know which unit, you have to go to the universe library. Here is where you'll see what to call the unit. Liz, Porter, Montana, New York, Akizuki, all those. This is the reference where you type in this name, it will reference it to a unit class, and obviously in turn that will create the unit. You have different fire stances. Let me show you another example, such as a shipyard. See, this type of entity with shipyard classes. Most of this modding pretty much involves taking something from a known and just copying it and then modifying it to suit your needs. I'm going to show you an example from one of the Advanced Warfare Pack maps. Let me take a simple one called Sibuyon Sea. Here's pretty much the layout of Sibuyon. So you'll see there's the Chikuma with its location. You can add this. We'll give it the unit, the name you'll see in the map. You can also do this part in the script. Most of it you can in script files as well. You get torpedo director, AA director, artillery. It just allows the AI to use these weapons as well. Party and race. On the race you can add different countries like Great Britain, Australia. Those you'll see on Battle of the Java Sea in Advanced Warfare Pack. You'll see the different country ships have different flags. That's because of the race. And you have different commands. The default is this. Let me get another one, air battle, where there's a bit of a different one. I don't think I have it open here, but you can give it different command targets, all those. You can assign formations and all those as well. Let's see. Yeah, you give it command to cruise, so it's just basically just going at a straight speed, and you have it a maximum speed. You can also give it a start speed. You can pretty much browse for most of that Advanced Warfare Pack and like upcoming Last Stand Pack scene files to see most of the commands you can give units. And then you'll see later in the part 2 where you can look for a specific entity and then assign it a specific value in the script file, and then have it perform a specific command. One last thing I need to point out is shipyards and airfields that spawn units. You'll see it's got a specific entity inside the unit called spawn point. Now this is the actual spawn point that will spawn the units. And you'll see yes, the list, which will tell you which units are available. A count of 0 will mean there is that unit is not available. A count of anything except 0, -1, 2 and all those will have that unit spawnable. And then you'll see for the manual takeoff and landing for the Advanced Warfare Pack maps, we'll take a ship like the carrier. That has been totally removed, and we instead added plain stocks, which will give you a stock of 20 of, this has no specific unit, and this one you'll see has 40, can launch a maximum of 5 Avengers. And also another thing I've just noticed is you can also give the ship the number, especially on the US side. If I just get one of the other ones, numbering, that will give the ship the specific number as well that will be displayed on the side. Airfields and shipyards work a little bit different. Just find US one. You'll have an airfield entity, and then you have hangars. The hangar has an entry path, an exit path, and an object. The object will be the physical hangar. The entry path will be the spawn path, where the unit will be spawning in the hangar, taxiing out, taking off. An exit path is the vice versa, where it will land and taxi back in. Most of the maps were designed for this, so you'll manually have to change these, else the planes will spawn and just land on the middle of the runway and disappear. This pretty much covers the basics on map making, and then the second part will come soon, and then we'll deal with how to script maps and how to add objectives and those, and then some other few tips. And good luck.